So now that we have that background information on LGBTQ plus identities and gender and sexual identity, we're going to transition into applying what we just learned to our actual classrooms and what we can do to make them more inclusive. And before we dive into this material, we just want to remind you all of some basic values, starting with the importance of having these discussions and creating content and leading our classrooms intersectionally. So in case you are not sure what that term means, intersectionality is a term that was coined by the wonderful social justice pioneer, Kimberly Crenshaw. And it's about how our identities intersect and then what challenges that intersection could possibly pose. So, for example, queer or trans POC can experience racism within the LGBTQ plus community. And then on the flip side, they could also experience heterosexism or transphobia or cissexism in their communities of color. So we must address all forms of oppression to effectively address the oppressions that the LGBTQ plus community can face. And with that being said, we want to keep in mind how classrooms can really be incubators for harm and for growth. So throughout this workshop and this video, we invite you to ask yourself how you might perpetuate racism in your classroom and what you can do to contend with that as well. So because an LGBTQ plus inclusive classroom must also be an anti-racist classroom. And as the slide says, no one is free until all of us are free. So now we're going to transition into applying what we just learned to our classrooms and what we can do to make them more effective, like I said. And so we're going to focus on active allyship. So what is an ally? Being an ally is an action, not an identity. It means that you are actively and consistently supporting queer and trans people in your life, and we need allies. So you often hear the term ally or allyship, but it really should be active allyship, because being an ally is an action, it's a decision, it's a choice, and it's consistent. It isn't just showing up to a pride parade one year and thinking that's enough allyship. It's not. And this is what this workshop is going to help us work on, how to become active allies to LGBTQ plus students, but also the LGBTQ plus community in our schools and in the communities we surround ourselves with.